Hey, yo, welcome back, gang. It's your boy King Boss, and we are back at it again with another video. And in today's video, we are going to go over some essential recruiting tips that I think you should know before you start the game up. But before we get into all that, if you like this kind of content, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. We are on the road to 500, but let's go ahead and get it to 1,000 because we almost at 500. But let's go ahead and jump into it, man. Are you enjoying the game? Let me ask you that first. Once you get the game, this is the best advice I can give you. I would say take over a top program before you go into your main dynasty. That way you can see how recruiting works, okay? So if you look at my board right now, I took over Georgia just so that way I can see how things would go, right? I'm an assistant coach, and I'm using all of the coach's hours that he has allotted. And this coach has over 1,000 hours allotted. When you take over a program, when you first get into dynasty mode, at a small school, you only have 350 hours. If you can see, you only have 35 scholarships and you have 35 targets. Okay. When you get that preseason board set up and you offer everybody a scholarship, you can only get 450 hours. Okay. If you offer everybody a scholarship, that's 5 hours. And if you try to scout everybody, you can't do it. So it's best that you go in and take over a top program. That way you see how things of dynasty work, and you can see how it is, when you become a big head coach. That way you can see before you waste your good dynasty, because I did the same thing. I wasted my good dynasty, and I'm probably going to have to redo it that way since I know how to, go through recruiting, and I've done this multiple times already. So this works, okay? That way you can see how everything works out, shakes out, how, different pitches, different weeks to bring people, all kind of stuff like that. And my number two would be read the room with recruits. If you are getting blown out, you can always come back. But there are other recruits and transfers waiting to come to your program, okay? There are a lot of prospects in the recruits in this game, over 3,500. Remember that there are over 3,500 recruits, and not all of them get a scholarship. Like, if you look right here at Markel Hurt, if we were to go after him right now, we are in week 14. We could possibly get him to come to our program because he has no scholarship offers. His recruiting is still wide open. He is a whole four-star recruit. A four-star recruit with no offers at week 14 that you could bring to your program. Why do we sit here and, try to go after these top prospects that have possibly, got scholarship offers, or they are swaying towards another school, even though you're putting so many resources into this one player? You get what I'm saying? It's no need to put all these resources into one player when there are players who want to come to your school. Okay? Don't sit there and try to overdo it just because you want one person. We are in week 14. This is just five. If you just go to 5-star, it's a lot of 5 stars who only have one offer. You get what I'm saying? That 4 stars with no offers. Why do you don't continually go after one person? If you look at Peyton Roach, we did go after him to start with, but he started leaning towards Western Kentucky, and we fell out of his top five. And then, we made his top five, and then we fell out of his top three. But if they're getting a sizable lead on me, it's no need for me to put more effort and resources into this one player when there are plenty other players. Don't forget, the transfer portal is in the game. It's at the end, but it is in the game. So there is no reason to try to, you know, go all out on one prospect, because when you have, your small school coach at 350 hours and you fill up that board with 35 people, you only have 10 hours to spread amongst each player, okay? Every week. So that's my next thing. Don't overdo your board because at a small school, you only get 350 hours a week and that goes fast. Okay. So you can't, when you do 10 hours, all you could do, I'm going to show you this is it. All you could do is DM a player every week. You get to find out more of the traditions and stuff like that they like on the right side, academic prestige, blah 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 blah, out of the top 14. But you have to remember, after a while, you're going to have to try to contact friends and family to get more interest. If you want them, send the house. So that's 50 hours right there for one player. So don't overdo the board right away. Because you're going to have soft sales, you could do hard sell, and you could also sway. Don't do sway. It's kind of a waste of time. I'm not going to lie. But you can do soft sell or hard sell. But that all that is trying to, get the recruit to like your program even more than they already do. You know what I'm saying? So you don't necessarily need to do that as much, but you do need to, capitalize and maximize on the board that you do have. Okay. Um, my next one is go into every week, go in your recruiting board every week and adjust your recruits the way you need to. Adjust time and schedule visits if you need to. Put more time into one other recruit than another recruit. So if you have like a sizable lead with one recruit, it's no need for you to give them all the extra hours when you have a sizable lead. Like you get what I'm saying? Like if I didn't need this, I don't really need this prospect at Georgia because I'm technically going to leave after this. You get what I'm saying? I don't really care. But if I had a board full of people, there's no reason for me to give this one recruit 50 hours when I already have a sizable lead on Purdue. You get what I'm saying? It's no need for me to try to throw all these extra efforts and then I might have a recruit that I might desperately need and they don't have a big jump on on the competition. You get what I'm saying? So just be smart and go in and adjust every week because you can tweak it the way you want to. You can find out more stuff. You don't have to keep the same things up there every week because you might need those hours. And you also, to me, you need to go in there and look at where you stand with every recruit. Because like I said, read the room. Read the room. If they are going towards another school, let them go. The next one is you want to target bigger recruits after preseason, especially if they don't have scholarships. So, like I showed you, you want to go after the preseason. The offers don't update, but they do update once the season happens. And like I showed you earlier, there are 4 stars with no offers. We are in week 14 once again. Okay. We are in week 14, and some of these players have not been offered one scholarship. As you see, Justin McHugh, he is number 1 in his state, number 3 in his position, and he is a 4-star recruit, 72nd national ranked. He has 0 scholarship offers. Go after the big recruits after the preseason. What I would say do is fill up your board to start with, and offer everybody scholarships and then see what hours you have after that. Scout your biggest recruits that you would like. And then, you use up that time. So when the season starts, you could then pop, if some people do commit ahead of time, because people do commit ahead of time. You get what I'm saying? If they do commit ahead of time, you can go ahead and just move them down your board. The hours are given back, and then you could use them hours on maybe a bigger prospect or recruit, whatever you want to call them. And One other thing, just because they are a bust doesn't mean they aren't a good player for your small school. I want to camp on this one a little bit because people are saying like gems and busts, and they like, I don't want to bust. You get what I'm saying? Think about this. If your best player on your small school in the position that you need, let's say you need a quarterback, and your quarterback is only a 71, right? If you have a 3 or 4 star bust that you find who is just randomly sitting out here with no scholarship offers and they are a bust, they can still be better than your starting quarterback right now. Okay. We've noticed that with the 5 star recruit, and they are a 5 star recruit, a gem, they could be 80, 81. A 4 star, they might be 75, 76. You get what I'm saying? A 4 star bust could possibly be 72, 73. So they still are coming in better than the prospect that you have right now on your team. And think about it. Sometimes they give a lot of these recruits bust because of maybe one stat that isn't necessarily important. Like, I think, this guy right here, he got a bust because he's a 4 star. He doesn't have that many abilities, and his awareness is 64. You get what I'm saying? Like, to me, if he's going to play defense, I really don't care that he doesn't have that many mental abilities because he's coming to Georgia and he probably won't play right away. You get what I'm saying? So sometimes you have to take all that into consideration when you building up your program. Sometimes you need players who can play right away, who might not make it to the last 3 to 4 years. You get what I'm saying? Mental abilities are wonderful, but I'm not going to sacrifice having a 4 and 5 star recruit at my program because they are a bust or a gem. You get what I'm saying? I'm not necessarily worried about that because if I need help, I need them. All right. So another thing, um, it's gonna be some times where you can't scout every prospect. Okay. If you have a small school and you have your 350 hours, you're gonna, when you start to bring in recruits, you're gonna have to allot 40 hours. Remember that when you schedule a visit, you're gonna need 40 hours. And let's say if you bring in multiple at a time, that's gonna hurt your time that you do have. So you can't scout everybody. Alrighty. If it's a 4 and 5 star recruit and you are at a 1 star program, just go ahead and send that scholarship. That might be toxic, but go ahead and send that scholarship and then let the best man win from there. You get what I'm saying? Because you don't have the allotted time to scout them because you don't have any hours. You can't just say, I want to scout them all the way, but you also have, like, look at this right here. He's coming in for a visit, 40 hours. Um, so that's 40 hours that is already done. You get what I'm saying? That I won't get that 40 hours until he takes his visit. You have different things that you could do every week to keep the player's interest peaked. But if it's a 4 and 5 star recruit and I'm in a 1 star program, I don't care. And remember, with the transfer portal, if they are a 3, 4, or 5 star, they aren't going to be a gem or a bust. So you wasting your time trying to scout them to see what they are because they already have an overall in the game. It doesn't matter if you want to be honest. It doesn't matter if you see 3, 4, and 5 star recruit and transfer portal. Just offer them a scholarship, bring your program trash anyway. You got it. Your best player might be a 75. And you get somebody at the transfer portal that's a 3 star, he might be a 76. I'm not about to sit there and scout them because you still aren't going to know the whole overall. You get what I'm saying? Until they get to the program. And then my next one, target need players, but don't forget you can switch positions. Okay, you can go. It might say you might need offensive tackles, guards, center. Well, like let's say you need a guard and a tackle. Why not go after some centers? You get what I'm saying? You can go after centers and then you could just switch their position. You don't have to necessarily try to get the best tackle or best guard. If you can get a top center and then just change their position from center to guard or tackle, why not do that? Or you could do it from tackle to guard. You know, that's if there are no good recruits that are signing to your program at that need position, you can always switch positions. At the end of the year, they're going to ask you, do you want to switch positions? And you can just switch it then, fam. It's no need for you to try to do too much. You no need. You're going to switch positions at the end of the year. And best believe these centers that we're getting, that we signed three, and we need guards, they're going to guard just to fill that position. You get what I'm saying? It's no need to try to go all in on one to get some 3-star right guards when you can get some 4-star centers that get no love. You get what I'm saying? Um, let's go to my next one. If you want to gain more XP for your small school rebuild, try being an assistant coach. To gain more XP, you can have more branches unlocked. So this is something that I am doing for a video. When it drops, make sure you go check that out. And this is actually that video. We're taking over Georgia as an assistant coach. Um, I am now at a level 9, guys. Level 9. You get what I'm saying? I'm at a level 9. I'm at a level 9. Okay. I could have unlocked more branches, but honestly, these branches are trash. Like I'm not gonna fake. They're not trash in general. I'm saying for where I am right now, they're trash because I'm an assistant coach. You get what I'm saying? I don't need those abilities just yet because as an assistant coach, I don't care about, the X's and O's. This is somebody else's program. I'm not about to try to divest, put in invest all my interest into stuff that will benefit the head coach when I'm trying to get out of here. So I want to, have a better recruiting ground. I can use all my resources on recruiting. That way, this could lead to me unlocking like elite recruiters, stuff like that. Because, we are going to sign a top 5 recruiting class. You get what I'm saying? It did allow me to get tactician. I can put more into that, but I don't necessarily want to because when I take over my program, I will be looking more towards recruiting. You get what I'm saying? It's a give or take. It's a good balance, and it's also a great way for you to get that experience without you having to take over a top program and be head coach. You could do this, and you could do all the recruiting for a big school. That way, you can see, oh, so students do commit when you send them a scholarship. You know what I'm saying? So you do get all these hours. You do, it's a lot of things you notice when you're just an assistant coach opposed to being a head coach. Because after the first year, your hours could go up, but your team has to be good. You know what I'm saying? So you might get 400. It might go from 350 hours for the year to 450 hours, but you're still going to need a whole lot of people. You get what I'm saying? So in my last one, and if you're enjoying this content, let me know, man. Let me know what you think about it as well. The last one is the most important one. You can't win every recruit. So just think about that. Let that sink in. You can't win every recruit. Just because they are a recruit and you are interested in them, you can't win everyone. Just like how I've hit on in the beginning, the middle, and I'm gonna do it again at the end. And this is now. You can't win every recruit. Just because you see a recruit that you want doesn't mean they necessarily want to go to your program. When you have less hours, you have less time to invest in every recruit. You get what I'm saying? You got to read the room. You got to be realistic. You can't be out here being delusional. I'm gonna show you one more time, okay? We are in week 14. I know you've seen it. There are recruits, 4 stars, that don't have any offers, that don't have, they're not big on any school because their recruiting is still wide open. All these recruits right here will be put on teams that they have the highest interest in. They're going to walk on them. But why are you going to let them walk on to somebody else's team when you can get them? You're not going to get every recruit. You're not going to get every person that you want. Okay, guys? Do not forget that. You aren't going to win every recruit. I'm going to say it again. You won't win every recruit. You won't win every recruit. But the good thing is you will win some, and that those recruits will possibly be the best recruits that you can get. And another thing, don't forget, people do decommit every day. So what I always do is I always come through and check the ones that I do have committed. I want to make sure they haven't decommitted throughout the year. And if you do have a person that you really desperately loved, you can still keep them on your recruiting board and just keep an eye on them every week. You can check on them, make sure they didn't decommit or anything like that. Typically, decommits don't necessarily happen as often, but it happens. You get what I'm saying? You never know why a recruit might decommit, but it just happens. I wouldn't, depend on it. I'm just saying. But that's the end of the video. If these tips work for you, let me know in the comments. What other tips do you have for other people? I love y'all. Y'all be great. Y'all be safe, man. Peace.